Some districts have an actual association structure with assessed fees for property owners. Services above and beyond the expected city services can sometimes be expected. Councilman, you should be aware of this because it's your role to make sure that in that planning process we are keeping in mind some things that we need. Whether it's additional sidewalks, whether it's custom designed wayfinding, whether it's the streetscaping. Streetscaping includes all that stuff. Usually it's the roads, it's the sidewalks, it's the lighting. We might have assessed fees because we want to advertise. And we can't afford a page in AAA on our own, but if the 10 of us get together, we can buy a page in AAA, which is segmented for our region, and we can let people know that we're here, and they can bring a coupon in and get, I don't know, a couple of dollars off to give them an incentive to come and visit. These districts are wonderful opportunities for generally disenfranchised communities to participate in the economic development project that will generate jobs and grow businesses. And in this way, the community is actively involved in promoting and marketing its own heritage and culture while developing attractions for visitors and making some money. Who are the stakeholders? Stakeholders are people or a group having a direct interest, involvement, or investment in something. Many people call it skin in the game. Okay? Skin in the game. We have something at stake. Certainly, the people who are part of that community, that ethnic or cultural group, are stakeholders. People who live in that area are stakeholders. You have elected officials, local businesses and companies, as well as promotion officials, local artists. They're all stakeholders. They are stakeholders in what happens in that particular area and its success. And why is this important? Community members provide the product, right? You don't have a district without them. You're looking for authentic events or experiences. Some of its key members may not want to participate. Some will probably see it as you selling out, quite frankly, or they don't see enough in it for them. If he's got a restaurant and I've got a restaurant, how am I going to make money? And we don't sometimes know about this idea of critical mass, but the District del Sol is probably a very good example of that not being the case. Lots of restaurants next to each other, across the street from each other, people were everywhere. And that's what happens when you create that district experience. Elected officials will want to weigh in. Elected officials need to know that in order to plan, you need money. How can they help you identify funds that can help with underwriting the planning of what it is that you are trying to do? There are also resources that you will need. The resources for the streetscaping and the wayfinding design and all that stuff. But other things, other political things, like zoning. Okay? When you start to look at permits for license and inspection, you will need a champion. You will need a political champion to get that done. With the formation of the district, you will also need to look at how to bring other services to the table. If people are coming, you're going to be dealing with traffic congestion sometimes, hopefully. You're going to be dealing with moving pedestrians around safely. You're going to be looking at picking up trash because there will be more of it. So you do want to keep those services in mind. Area businesses will need to be on board. Your promotion agency will need to be on board at the right time. Once it's ready, you want to get them to help you market and promote it. Much to consider, but most important is your product. You want to have something that is well thought out and that is going to create a quality visitor experience. So I'm going to quickly tell you what happened in Philadelphia. In 1988, two African Americans approached the CBB president and said, I think that there's something with this minority tourism stuff. Why don't we do a study and see if in fact that is the case? The two people who approached him, one was a state elected official and the other one was a very prominent public relations businessman. They got some community people together. The state official identified some state funds. They paid for the study. It was a landmark study on that level, because what they found out was that although Philadelphia had a mixed reputation with African Americans at that time, because this was in 1988, the MOVE incident in Philadelphia happened in 1985. It had only been 3 years. And though the perception was a little challenging, there was still interest in coming to Philadelphia because Philadelphia had so many African American historic sites. It had so much going for it that the Philadelphia folks finally decided, if we kind of promote to them, maybe something will happen. Well, it did. It did indeed. The study indicated that the positive things about Philadelphia far outweigh the negative perceptions. And as a result of that, Philadelphia formed this organization called the Multicultural Affairs Congress, and I had the honor of serving as executive director there for 5 years. We created a vision for the city. We created a strategic direction for the city, and provided the oversight to allow a successful model to emerge. And the direction initially was with African Americans, and since that time, Philadelphia has, of course, incorporated a Latino marketing strategy and an Asian American marketing strategy. And as of last year, the city has shown measured growth of that market and has booked over $1 billion in business. Okay, so, and I am not playing, it's all documented. This isn't, you know, we started with one thing and it has grown since then, exponentially. And one of the reasons I like to tell the Philadelphia story is because it wasn't just about doing good or identifying things that might be important to a certain segment of the population. It was also about green. There was an economic advantage to going after this market. And Philadelphia has become a model that people have really paid attention to. And some are doing, you know, just things above and beyond what Philadelphia is doing as a result of that. Sometimes you take something and you let somebody else mold and form it and become something very different and exciting. There were bumps along the road. I can tell you some stories about some things we did wrong. But we learned from them. We learned from them, and the market has grown, and $1 billion is $1 billion is $1 billion. The other thing that happened was Philadelphia's Tourism Marketing Corporation, which was formed now about 14 years ago, decided that this market might be the opportunity to create neighborhood experiences for visitors, because again, it looked like visitors wanted to have authentic experiences. And so what they did was created guiding principles, and I'm going to share these with you very quickly. Visitors wanted to touch, taste, participate, and tour as part of their ethnic, cultural tourism experience. That, for them, was something authentic and meaningful. They wanted to touch, taste, participate, and tour. Tour was the learning part. These experiences were created in several communities. One was the Golden Mile, which is where we have this Latino commercial and arts corridor. One was an Asian experience that they were able to create with partners in the Chinatown area. And in addition to the African American historic tour, which was very, very rich, it was the Philadelphia contemporary African American experience that really generated more interest. And that was with tying in Philadelphia International Music Recording Studio. Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff and that whole music experience, they were able to actually create an experience for people tied to Philadelphia's music history. So that was actually pretty great. It's not available all the time. It is available spring, summer, and by reservation through the Visitor Center, another partner. And it's working very well. So I'm clearly, as you can see, a proponent of true quality, meaningful visitor experiences. I think it was Mr. Foley who mentioned something about world class, and if not, it was the deputy mayor. World class is where you want to go. You want to do things to the best of your ability. You want the best quality experience that you can possibly create. You want to tie in with the vision of this city. So you don't want to do something that's over here when your city is going this way. If your city is moving towards being the first-class, world-class destination that it wants to be, that's where you want to go. You want to tie in with that. So, for ethnic communities poised for tourism, we professionals should be clear on the end goal or outcome that we are desiring for the planning of the ethnic tourism experience. Take the time to work with the communities. Don't expect things to happen quickly, and identify the resources needed to make a true difference for the area. Partnerships, very important. Back in the early 90s, I didn't quite understand this idea of partnering. I thought we could do it. We've got the money, we got the people, we can get it done. That's not the case. And it's not the case today. Partnering with others makes it happen, and makes it happen in a very different and rich way. So you do want to keep that in mind. They don't have to always look like you. You want to get something done. And what you have to remember, again, is just like with economic development, you might have something going on, but it's even better if you can partner sometimes with organizations that have a common interest, because you're looking for the best experience for visitors. Keep the co-op marketing opportunities in mind too, because it allows your money to go the distance, and it will allow you to do more around this whole idea of marketing and promotion. Elected officials have a part to play. You need a champion. There has to be a champion for these initiatives to work where it requires public support. You are going to need support to plan,